And we are
Hello.
back. I am now joined by Joshua Myers. Josh, what's up, dude?
How's it going, man?
It's going great. We're having a fun time today. I saw Angel get dishonored live on stream,
Yeah.
and
First one.
it was fun. I think it's the first one. I'm going to
First
say
in the
it.
world.
I know there's
Yeah.
some other. I know there's some other streams going on today, but we're the dishonorable ones. So check it out. I'm glad everyone's out there watching. Should be a fun day. What are you most excited about in this new Outsiders meta?
Honestly, like these brand new Red 6 generics have been really cool. There's a lot of different options that I think we're going to see get tested in the meta as the weeks come. And then also seeing Riptide in action was something I was looking forward to today. No Riptides
Nice.
today, but
No
he's
Riptide.
really interesting the way he works and different approach to Archer, I think.
Totally. What's your favorite 2 for 6 in the set?
2 for 6 in this set. I really like Humble right now. Humble seems pretty useful. Turning off the other person's hero ability can just buy you a lot of time, especially in heroes like Briar, where you saw if you turn her off, she can't make the lightning embodiment. So then it makes her turns much shorter.
Unless you're Angel and you only need the one thing, you just do CNC for 13.
Oh yeah, you find it no matter what. Yeah, no. The creepers is a great face that allows you to do that.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
a lot of great generics out there. I'm excited to see in play.
Totally, yeah. We were just talking about this, and I was saying it feels like they're kind of a toolkit. They're all they're all 2 for 6, and they all have a slightly different hit effect that seems relevant based on your meta or the kind of the meta at large or what kind of heroes are popular. Which almost feels like the kind of items and stuff from Everfest, but in a more kind of proactive and useful way.
Definitely more playable. I think that the items are a lot harder to play, but Red 6 generics super easy.
Yeah, very cool. They block for 2, but who needs to block?
Right. All right, and I think we just got told, but we're gonna start our match soon. Going in, it's gonna be Zachary Wallach versus Moises Lopez.
Nice. All right, another Katsu. So Katsu is our highest represented hero today. I think Dromai was in second place, so Zach has been a Dromai player for a while now, so he knows what he's doing. We're taking a look at his list, and it looks like a Dromai list.
Yeah, it's a very honest Dromai list. Got all the dragons, got the Blaze Headlongs, one Remembrance, which I think is kind of a standard now. Most people run one Remembrance. Lexi and all the other rangers got one for free, so everyone's gonna have to match it.
Well, they pay for it, but it just sits on the board, and they can do it whenever they want.
Everybody spawn in with it.
So I think the couple things. I mean, he's got the Blaze Headlong. That seems kind of standard these days for Dromai.
Yeah, you got all the good reds. Burn them all. Command and Conquers.
And then we've got Moses' list here as well. Let's see what new cards we got. We got Bonds of Ancestry. We got Be Like Water. Yep, that seems to be what you need. Dishonor. Here we go. Let's see if we can see
3 Dishonors. I think you just always throw the 3 Dishonors if
Yeah.
you're running the Surging line.
Yeah, it's 3 blue, block for 3. I think it's good.
I think this is 1 Bonds of Ancestry. Only needing 1. I think a lot of people don't know what the ratios are for that card.
We got 3 in red and 1 yellow.
3 and yellow. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Handwriting.
And then Fine Center. I mean, yeah, that's just the blue, but
So I think these are
Rain Dance too. That's interesting.
3. These lists are very honest and traditional to what they're trying to do. Dromai is trying to make dragons. Katsu is going to be trying to complete his combo lines through the surging lines, and that's all. Nothing too spicy, I don't see.
Yeah, does he have Mugenshi in here? No, he's not doing Mugenshi. So it is just straight up, going for the Bonds of Ancestry. Got too many Ancestry cards.
I'm always a big fan of synergy. As a Viscerai main and player, having synergistic cards is super important sometimes, and I often choose synergy over the numbers because it can result in me gaining tempo sometimes because of it.
Nice. Also got a recoil in here. Had to look that one up. That's the one that combos off head jab, and if it hits, it puts a card from their hand back on the top of their deck. So going in for some of the interesting hit effects there, which I'm excited to see. This probably isn't the matchup Moses wants to see, but I think, Katsu can deal with dragons sometimes.
If you can go wide, you can deal with dragons for sure. Being able to Kodachi out the little dust wings, really useful. Helps you manage that board. When the The hit effects, though, is going to be interesting because you can throw a snatch at a dragon at the end of your chain,
Yep.
and if that hits, you can draw, and it's kind of like a ponder token drawing towards the end just to arsenal.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it really comes up to Lopez's knowledge on this matchup and how well you can control Zach's onslaught. But turn one, we're going to get a Sigil of Solace. Always great opening hand, especially if you are going first.
Yep. It's
Start at 43.
Not bad. He's going to pitch to Flame Scale just to cycle that Blaze Headlong, I think. And then, I think that's it, you know? Just gain 3 life, set up your next Make an Ash, and just see what happens.
Yeah, setting up is often the main route for most people's first turn, in my opinion, because just giving your cards to someone who's going to all defend it doesn't always feel great.
Yeah.
So you'd rather just get ready and set up for that swing back after they do their opening. And we're going to start here with a Surging Strike, it looks like.
Yeah, Dromai seems like one of the most capable turn 0, I can do a bunch of stuff without actually attacking you
Yeah.
decks, which is really fun to watch sometimes.
So you can't filter your hand either because that's another big one as well.
Yeah. Watch me filter my hand, set up my deck in a way that benefits me greatly without letting you do anything.
Oh, yeah. I like the Mage Master Boots out of Zach. Sometimes they run Phantasmal, but Mage Master Boots allows you to do things like instant speed Tome of Fendel. Does he have a Tome of Fendel in here? No.
Not doing the Tome of Fendel.
So what is he instant speeding with the Mage Masters?
Not instant speed, but he gets an action point. I think maybe he can do like his Dust.
Oh, for the Dust?
Red Desert or something like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then be able to play the Vincerikai after that. Or even just put out a Passing Mirage or something. I think that's still a good classic.
Zach saying no blocks, going to take the full Surging with Go again, going to 38, and activating Katsu ability. We're going to find Whelming Gust Wave.
Nice. Got that promo, extended art, Whelming Gust Wave coming in for 4, and go again.
A good break point at 4. This is what's really going to be hard, is blocking these efficiently. You're going to need your early D-reacts like Sinks to kind of gain the tempo and make sure that Lopez can't whittle you down.
Blocking 5, making sure he can't attack reaction that too easily.
Kadachi. You never block Kadachis, right?
I mean, you don't want to.
You don't want to. That's fair. You only block dodges if you have to.
Yeah.
But the damage is always getting in. Like, how can you play around even bigger than that?
Yeah.
I remember that's a big one. I don't think he has this on this one, but I remember before how to block Kadachi, and that's how they would punish me.
That always felt bad. You're just like, now you have to think about it every time. But it's one of those things where if you play around it, it's just going to happen eventually. So you might as well just let it happen.
True. Lopez throwing a snatch at the end, and Zach having the sink below for this one, perfectly blocking out.
Nice.
Still having a 3-card hand. He's going to try and probably set up some dragons soon, but also accumulating dust has to be at the top of his mind. Ash, he only has 1, and you need more than that usually to start making a lot of dragons.
Yeah, he's got to get that engine going. Really nice play by Zach, getting blocking out the whelming. He had that sink below in Arsenal. I was curious why he didn't play that, but then he was waiting for a more relevant on hit. Or perhaps even like an attack reaction. So nicely played there.
Very patient. And I think that was something I was discussing with some of the players today. We were before in a meta where you could be rewarded for being very proactive, but I think we're going to be going into a meta where being reactive is going to be rewarded the most.
Yeah.
Knowing when to hold it.
I think is going to be really nice, to be honest. It's more of like a mid-rangey. It's probably still will be more aggressive than I personally like, but it has that feeling of important decisions, making exchanges and eking out value over the long term, rather than just like drawing the best cards off the top of your deck and doing crazy amounts of damage.
Oh man, that's the wizard life. They love that that long grind.
The longer I can take to just do something that can't be stopped is great.
Yep. Zach getting his first big dragon out. This one's called Vincerikai, right?
No, that is Yendurai.
Yendurai. Okay, Yendurai. Gotcha. One of the eyes.
That's the chillest of dragons.
Yeah,
he's just
chill.
a homie that is in the forest having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go again. Surging Strike. I think there's a lot of Surging Strikes in this deck. So
yeah. He's probably running the reds or the yellows.
He's got reds and yellows, yeah.
Yeah, reds and yellows, which just seems appropriate. And a good amount of blue pitch, too.
And with Be Like Water, you basically have 3 more.
Yep. Exactly. So
which is
got the full
pretty
9,
nice.
which is always usually the main card of the deck. Fizz rides 9 Mob Skies. Reinhardt runs 9 Rampages. Barraging
Beatdowns.
beatdowns. That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
So Surging is gonna be in the main spine of this deck. It's gonna be discarding a Winds of Eternity to go fetch something.
Another whelming.
Another Whelming. Really sticking with these lines here. I think you're gonna see this quite a lot. Obviously, this is what Katsu wants to do. Lopez piloting very successfully and keeping that pressure on Zach.
I'm curious if he's just looking to push the pressure or if he's trying to pull off some of these crazier new combo lines. I mean, whelming just good because you get the +1 go again. It says draw a card on hit too, right? I
I'm
believe it
pretty
does.
sure.
Yeah,
Let me
and
look up
then
to
if
see.
he's also got the mass trigger, so he'll get. Does he get 2?
He would have a mash trigger. All these have hit so far. So this is also the third point where it is triggering mash trigger. Zach is most likely going to have to respect this if he's going to want to not take a lot more damage and set up his board. So far, though, we're seeing very hard pressure coming out of Lopez, and Zach's running out of life quickly.
I mean, that seems to be the plan for Dromai. You do have to trade your life early on to be able to set up your board state and the engine you need to pump out your dragons. But yeah, he is struggling to get Ash right now, which I think is going to be a problem. He's kept his whole his whole hand. He's got a 5-card hand right now, so hopefully he's able to get some of that going and.
E-Strike will help for sure. Swing some of that damage. It's going to be, which mode is he choosing? Is it going to be go again, or is it going to be 7? It's going to be 7, so.
Oh, interesting. And he's just going to keep. Why did he not block all his. Why did he not block?
Block the other things. He might be trying to save some cards to filter into
Okay.
your furnace in the end to gain more ash. But we'll see. You'll see. Yep, there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
So one of them was to filter, gain an ash, and the other one's going to be going right into that arsenal.
Yeah. So he traded a little bit of life. He knew he was going to get it back with the sigil and then get his ash generation going.
And now it's 35 to 30. A
Yeah.
much different game from when this started, despite Lopez's efforts of running at Zach. Zach's being able to find those, like you said, not blocking with certain things and finding the stabilization within those turns.
Yeah. That's why Dromai is so interesting, and I think it was really hard for me to get my head around that deck, just because there's some of these little like nuanced plays that gain that extra value that there's just a larger range. There's a lower floor and a higher ceiling than a lot of decks, I think, on gaining that kind of value. And here we go again,
That is
Katsu.
true.
Surging Strike. It's like every single hand he's got a Surging Strike.
I'm gonna start running that one that if I name a card you can't play it. What is
Yeah.
that called? Chains of Eminence.
Yeah, right?
Against
Yeah.
Katsu, I'm like Surging Strike. What are you
Yeah.
gonna do?
So
You can't pitch it. You can't play it. I know your deck.
if Katsu gets a stranglehold on the meta, we will for sure see Chains of Eminence make its.
It pops up every once in a while. Once
does.
that gets too annoying,
Yeah.
you're like, I know what's gonna happen.
Like,
I'm
we've
gonna
got cards for this. It's called the get the hell out of here.
stop.
That
The
mess.
jail. Go straight to jail.
All right, so Descending Gust Wave coming in. This one's great because it just has Go Again printed on it.
Nice.
Um,
Perfect.
I think it costs 1 less too, right? Yeah, it costs less for playing Surging Strike before. So really nice to see these kind of mid combo pieces coming in for Katsu, just giving him more options. I think before the problem always was is like the line was always just Surging Strike, Whelming, and then maybe, you get into the Mugenshi, Lord of Wind situation. But
Just wouldn't populate enough, and you can kind of do it all the time. You'd run out of options. But we're seeing was Path of Ancestry, right?
Bonds of Ancestry.
Bonds of Ancestry. Yep.
So he's able to banish a card from his graveyard and then grab a card of the same name from his deck, which is going
Whoa.
to be a Whelming Gust Wave.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
And this one has Gogan as well. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure if the last one was played
Exactly.
with
Yeah.
one of the Whelming Gust Wave lines. Zach not blocking any of this. That is going to be a mass trigger, I'm pretty sure.
Unless,
Or that happens on play, not on hit, right?
Yes, it has when it attacks. That's what happens.
Okay, so now we're moving to blocks here. Zach's deciding if this is going to be the max trigger coming in for 4. If Moses lets it hit, it's going to draw a card and continue to shove in a lot of damage into Zach. When Zach's trying to set up a board to start pressuring Lopez, it's kind of awkward.
Yeah, he's really struggling to find his pieces. Not seeing a lot of his dragons yet, so and just not generating enough ash to really keep them coming. I think that's always the struggle. Is sometimes you have the dragons, but you don't have enough ash to uh, keep them.
Keep them come pumping out. Make the factory going. Setting the factory definitely takes some time. Zach's being patient. Had the fate foreseen in Arsenal. Perfect. Full blocks it very easily. I don't think we're going to see any attack reacts come out of this Katsu. Very honest, straightforward Katsu right now. Is there razors in this list? There is razors in this list, so haven't seen one yet. And there is also ancestral empowerment. So those are the ones really those red classic ones from Katsu to look out for.
Nice. So second surging strike coming out. Pretty sweet to see that happen. So that will turn on his whelming gust wave that he banished and can play this turn. So coming in for kind of double dipping on the surging strike combo here, which is pretty cool.
I don't even think I've ever seen 2 surging strikes on a on a board like this. So it's really cool being able to see him kind of hit that first combo line and then kind of do a little flare off on the end.
Yeah, really. Like I said, I think this just is a more flexible Katsu who's able to extend this combo line into a different directions and keep those lines going longer than they used to.
Yeah, 5 chain links are never fun to deal with as any class.
Yeah, and that one's just annoying too because it's whelming gust wave coming in for 2. But still with the hit effect of drawing a card, so he does draw the block of the CNC, which is got to feel pretty good. I think with Dromai, you're not comfortable because if they get an edge, they can just start coming in hot with their dragons. But he's been a little bit lucky on Moises' side to not have to deal with so many of them yet. But here we go. We got Maragai coming out on the field. But
Dust Up was huge for getting that out. Dust Up's one of his main ways to generate the ash. So sweeping.
Totally. Yeah, generates the ash. Usually pitch to it too, but he had looks like a blue in there, so didn't get the double ash generation. But I think Zach's struggling because against Katsu, who can go so wide and spend little attacks here and there to take down your dragons that have go again. He really needs more than one dragon out.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. I was having a conversation with someone the other day where I'm like, if Dromai gets 2 big dragons on the field, I'm going to start losing. And that's generally, I think, the mentality I think Dromai players get. If I can get 2 big dragons out, I can start holding the board a lot better. I can start pressuring a lot better because usually you only take out 1 big dragon a turn.
Yeah.
But as soon as you let them kind of go wild, then it's over. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then Nekria's pretty good, too.
Yep. Technical director Justin Lawag coming in with the Dromai notes.
Yeah.
He likes to wreck my armories by beating me with Dromai regularly.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just say Kano's matchup is 50-50 maybe.
Yeah. Fun fact about Zach's deck, it's all rainbow foiled out. It's all he owns all the marvels, not just a play set. He owns 2 play sets.
So he can play the front side and the back side.
He doesn't want to take the dragon out of the sleeve, so he just has a separate one where it's already the back side, and he plays on top of those. Everything's cold foil. Definitely committed to Dromai as soon as she came out. Really amazing to see.
Illusionist players love to bling out their decks.
Oh, yeah.
Decks, we know that. It's
Definitely.
And LSS loves Illusionist because they keep making the coolest cards for them.
Super cool. 100 wins coming out. Big pressure here. A red one's really nice. 2 cards in hand of Lopez. Zach's thinking whether he should block here or not. If he doesn't block, then Lopez was able to go fetch probably another whelming line. But looks like we're getting the block coming out. It's going to be a Kyloria.
I think...
There's that Kyloria. What's this gold one?
I think Moises played all his red whelmings, so he does only have 2 blue ones left.
Okay.
But he does have Be Like Water, which he can convert essentially on hit into a Surging Strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Which then works with the descending gust wave, and then having that gust wave. That's the other thing I thought was really cool in Outsiders was the cards that reference like half a name. It was like not just whelming gust wave, but a card with gust wave in its name. So
Yeah.
they kind of left that open to both the new cards extending that line, and then maybe even having other gust waves coming on. We'll see how many types of whelming can we have.
I've really been liking the way they've been going with ninja design. I think it's been very fun and flavorful, and we're seeing how strong it's becoming over the years now. Katsu having the head job hit and fetching, it looks like a new.
I think that's
new end.
recoil.
Recoil.
Yeah, that's the one that combos with head jab.
Yeah, correct. Because you played a head job before that.
That one, if it hits, that's the one where they can put a card from their hand on top or bottom of the deck.
Nice.
Or top of their deck, not bottom.
Katsu also finding tools to kind of fight the fatigue game, getting cards recurring, having longer games, squeezing out those last bits of damage. That's really cool.
Yeah. Still doesn't block great, but...
No. Ninjas don't block great. They're not supposed to.
Yeah. Well, they got Flick Flack if they really are worried about it.
Yeah, that's true. Flick Flack's a fun card. I don't think that there's too many defense reaction ninjas currently. I think all of them are probably going to be more like this, what would you call this, like a mid-range ninja, where they're trying to find...
Yeah, I mean,
combos.
Obviously combo, just because that's Katsu and what he wants to do. But yeah, it feels very mid-range. There's nothing like extremely overbearing. It's just a lot of like break points and going wide and kind of sequencing your attack so that you're going to sneak in damage and hopefully get the triggers, sneak by your triggers when your opponent may not be looking for it or may have kind of forgotten. I think there's so many now too.
Yeah.
Like there's so many different hit effects that really can be not like super punishing, but not, they can.
I'm definitely a culprit of having an on-hit effect hit and me not knowing, and then being like, okay, now you discard. I'm like, whoa, wait.
Yeah.
Let me rewind. I didn't know that. All right. So reading the cards is very useful. Crane Dance coming down, just going to be pushing...
Fine center.
Fine center.
Yeah.
Fine center coming down, going to be taking out the dragon at the very end. Getting the hit trigger for the mask, if I'm correct?
I think so,
yeah. Yeah, getting the hit trigger for the mask, which is good. Drawing a card. Looking at it. Probably going to arsenal it. Not the best, I think that's good. This will be... This turn will be...
Keeps it in his hand.
Keeps it in his hand, not even arsenaling it. Wow, okay.
Might have been another fine center, I'm not sure.
Maybe. Something he wants to play, for sure. Zach, though, gaining an opportunity now. Lopez kind of taking off the brakes a little bit, letting Zach going to find this tempo.
Yeah, and not the most exciting card to clap back with when he didn't arsenal. I think he was probably hoping
that he arsenaled.
that he would arsenal so that would have a bit more impact, but...
Foresight of Moises to know that CNC was coming was amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
The outplay was solid.
Say that. We can say that with some certainty. He knew it was coming and...
He's like, it's not worth it. Yeah, I'll keep the card. I don't want it. I'm not going to block it.
Yeah. Zach finally pushing past one Ash, so maybe
nice.
This is the turn where he's going to try to pivot, maybe block with his crown to, take a little bit of tempo back and get some dragons on the field.
Yeah, Zach does still have armor. He does have options to give himself space if he really needs to.
Mm-hmm.
But we're getting, like I said, to the point where the health's getting low enough that someone's going to have to make, I think, a drastic decision here. Lopez, keep playing whelming. Keep playing whelming.
Keep playing whelming. Just play some.
Play your fighting game.
Wave. Yeah.
Left, right, up, down, left, right.
Exactly. I probably won't see a super combo dishonor situation here, but
definitely harder to set up, and I think you need a little bit more space to do that. And giving Zach space as Dromai would have been a bad decision, I think, for sure. I think just putting, as Moises is doing, just running at him and trying to get as much health as possible, not letting them set up is the right decision.
Yeah, dishonor against Dromai would be insanely punishing, though.
Insanely punishing. Zach blocking with his furnace says, I have enough ash. I'm probably not going to need this now.
I think, he's trying to keep his health high enough to make this next turn really impactful
Yeah.
because he's had a rough go. But life is easy or even enough, I think, currently, unless Moses can really push through a lot more damage this turn. I think Zach might be able to have a really impactful turn, but
Well, we see. I think I saw a ancestral empowerment in Moses' hands, so it could
ooh,
be a really spicy turn depending on what that top draw is and if Zach blocks here. Um, very very tough position to be in as Zach, as you want to conserve as much life as possible, but you also want to start swinging this tempo. And Katsu's just not going to let you do it with those Kodachis.
yeah.
Those Kodachis they're going to be a killer at 10 health. That 1 health feels like 5 health now every time it hits.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking that. It's
Yeah.
like as you get lower, the Kadachi hit just feels worse and worse. Because
Yeah.
I mean, comparatively to your, you know, current life total, it is a much larger percentage every time
Hmm.
you take any kind of damage. Nice to, good to point out too that he's got a tunic resource up. He still has his breaking skills, so he can pop off the +1 on a combo card, which
Correct. Yep.
it seems like Katsu's running a lot more combo cards now.
All combo.
Yeah, yeah, full combo Katsu.
Pulls into McDonald's, gets a bunch of combos.
He wants the, what do they call it, the super size.
Happy Meal combo Katsu.
So yeah,
Zach's gonna say no blocks. Gonna take the 3. Gonna let it hit. Of course, gonna go fetch the other part, which is gonna be the bonds.
Bonds of Ancestry.
Yep.
So now
Great art, by the way.
yeah, that one's really cool.
Really dynamic. Punching the guy into the floor.
There's so much wind, you know,
Very very
on
windy.
all his cards that they're getting a little hard to see, but that's just flesh and blood.
Yeah.
But
He's just in Utah. They're just all frames.
it was windy out here the other night. Power going out and everything.
Oh,
But
man, yeah, it's crazy.
he's pushing. He's searching for the card he wants to banish. So this part is like another interesting facet of Katsu is knowing when you activate Katsu, what's in your deck, and then now when you activate Bonds of Ancestry,
Yeah.
figure out what's in your graveyard
Yep.
and in your deck. I could definitely see you messing this up if you're not 100% sure on your deck contents. But
You like spreadsheets?
yeah, you like spreadsheets? Welcome to Katsu.
Welcome to Katsu. This is how it's going to go. A, B, C, C, B, A.
Nice.
All right. So 3, go again. Zach still has a 4 card, 5 card hand technically with Arsenal. Still has the Crown of Providence. We can see him filter for that. I think he's just going to do 1 card from hand. 3 is an easy block, 1 card.
Yeah, block him with Vincerikai.
Yeah. There's
There's
that.
the punish.
Thankfully, it's not going to be a mass trigger. Was able to block that 1 Kodachi very appropriately and space it out. That would have been much worse if it was a 1 punish and a mass trigger.
Yeah, but he will.
100 wins.
Yeah, so this is great because he's got Winds of Eternity coming right after that. So what a top deck pull he had right there.
Oh yeah, that's a gamer pull for sure. But once again, not arsenaling, going as hard and as fast as you can against Dromai. And as a Runeblade player, I do this a lot as a Briar. I sometimes will not arsenal if I have to control board or pressure Dromai. I do not want them setting up at all.
Yeah, and if they've already decided to take damage, if you can keep presenting more damage, you're just making them rethink that choice every single extension of the chain, and it makes it harder and harder for them to keep not blocking to try to do their clapback because it feels like it's going to be less and less impactful. So Winds of Eternity coming in, getting buffed by the 100 wins that he top decked off there. I love that he did that. It seemed like a weird choice.
I think he missed a mash trigger. So this one hit, the one where he fetched for Katsu, he bonded over that one hit, and then
Oh yeah, I think
this
yeah,
one he breaking scaled to get over the block there, and so that would have hit as well. So he missed a mash trigger for an Arsenal. Doesn't think he's gonna need it.
Yeah, he did a lot of damage there.
Yeah,
I think they might have just discovered that.
the mash trigger. He blocked that, and then this one over. Yeah.
Yeah,
Judge Evan,
yeah, it was
head Judge Evan on the case.
Descendant, the Bonds of Ancestry, and then the 100 wins all hit. I believe.
No miss mash trigger. Okay.
Oh no.
Mhm.
Oh no, Miss Master. That's right.
Okay.
But he's feeling pretty good. He took a lot of cards away from Zach, who clearly didn't want to block
Mm.
early on in that turn. And he's been leaking life. And again, these Kodachis are going to come in on
They're gonna hurt. Yeah.
Moses' turn.
This is a good dragon for Zach to get out, though. This
Yep.
this dragon can definitely do some pressure. It's not the most priority, like of getting rid of, so it will probably stay around a couple of turns, which will help Zach maybe pressure and kind of come back. Still no arsenal though out of Moses. Hopefully he's not gonna brick a hand where he can't do anything. But if he does, you just Kodachi your way out every time. Every time.
Yeah. To get to this level, you're basically taking 10% of their life with every hit. And
Still has snaps, still has the tunic, still has mask. Seeing a big armor advantage coming out of Moses for sure.
yeah.
Zach looking through the graveyard, through the banished, making sure he knows what's been used and what hasn't, looking for the opening.
Ooh, nice.
All right, got one razor out of the three that he runs, so that's okay. That's fine. We'll see more around. Razors are usually a lot better in the later of the game. Pitching them is probably your most ideal thing early. All right, but still got a card out of Moses, which is good. So working a 3-card hand is better than working for Zach than him working as a 4-card hand.
Does he have a second razor in his hand? I thought I saw it.
Maybe. I think it's like maybe a whelming. We'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah, he's running out of his powerful combo cards, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what Zach was checking as well.
You know, Whelming Gust Waves, I think, are done. He may have played all his red surgings.
Yeah, there's.
Yeah, see another razor, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, not a great great hand to draw 2 razors on when you got a surging strike in it.
Yeah, yellow surging, had a block with one. So it looks like Moses did kind of hit that hand. That's going to be a little awkward, not the most comfortable, and maybe Zach can pivot here.
Yeah, I think this seems like a good opportunity. He's only got 1 card in hand. Hard to know how hard you'll get punished for not blocking the surging, but he does have crown. Looks like he's going to block. Yeah, Moses, let's see, he's got 3 Command and Conquers. I think that's his only popper in the deck.
Yeah, usually the math I have discovered is that you want to run around 6 to 9 poppers if you're respecting Dromai is the good amount. So no respected Dromai here, it's just 3 poppers.
We're looking to dishonor her.
Oh, Chromai being huge one here. Even if there is a popper now, does not matter.
Yep. Yeah, this is what he wants to see.
Yep,
He wants
yep.
to get his extra action point. He wants to do some arcane with Asvalai. It looks like he's got a Yenderai in there as well. So now Zach's pulling out the stops. He's got the Ash. He's got the Dragons. Can he
Yep.
go the distance? And
Can he become the Dragon Queen of? Because once you get the 2 dragons, you're pretty powerful. But we've all seen Game of Thrones. The 3 dragons,
Yeah.
you're unstoppable.
Yeah.
You can destroy kingdoms.
exactly. And then if you just have 2, you lose your
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. But Zach looking good. Blaze Headlong, perfect card here. Having Go again is gonna buy him.
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants to see. Just being able to extend
some
his
pressure.
turn, push through that damage. Blaze Headlong, just a really great card. It's one of those, it's bad sometimes, but
Yeah.
most of the time it's great, especially when you're running 56 reds in your deck.
Now we're seeing a 12 to 8. Zachary Wallach being rewarded for being so patient here. Not going to Arsenal. Going to get as many dragons out as possible. He needs to close this game quick or he's going to get closed.
Yeah. I mean, it is also the thing where for Moses right now, he has to figure out, can I ignore these dragons and try to kill Zach? But that's going to be a risk. If he has like a sigil, if he's got 1 red card in his hand that he can play and you don't take these dragons down, you're looking at this damage coming at you next turn. And that is not
something you can block as a ninja. Not something you can do with a ninja. You don't have any arcane barrier. You have something that does arcane damage to you.
Yeah.
Draws to burn them all.
Chromai out, so
here we go.
Just pop it right off the bat. So
Heart of the cards. I think you're going to see one of our last hands here, maybe, as we're 12 to 5. Zachary Wallach just needs 1 more turn.
Yeah, he's got to feel pretty good right now. This is what he's been waiting for. He's done a really great job at chipping away at Moses' life and also maintaining his own underneath the barrage of attacks and combos coming from Moses. But like I said, his graveyard's looking pretty big. He might be running out of the combo pieces. He's got to figure out what's in his deck, what he can fetch with Katsu, what he can banish with Bonds of Ancestry. Like, there's so much going on, which, like, honestly, Katsu seems kind of fun right now, just watching these people play.
A dishonor and a snatch.
Ooh.
There. The snatch is good. Has snap still. Has the mask. I think Moses is trying to find what's the optimal turn here. How can he get a mask trigger off? How can he use his snaps?
Yeah, I feel like you gotta leverage the dragon hit effects,
Oh yeah.
triggering from this to, like, I think you can put pressure, you can maybe chip some damage and also clear the board. Like, unless you have like just the absolute, you know, flop the nuts here. Like, it's not. I don't know. Me, I always struggle with this. I'm like, I'm gonna go for it. Like, I can do something cool, and then like they block out and they just have like a sigil, and they're just like, cool. Now I'm just gonna do this. I feel like Justin does this to me all the time.
they lure you in. They're like, oh, you can win, and then
Yeah,
no.
you got this. You're doing great, buddy.
Yeah. It can definitely be snatched that quick for sure if you're not playing respectfully in these last moments.
There you go. So be like water attacking as will I.
Nice.
Does that work?
Katsu.
I think it just says hits. Yep, when
just
this
says
hits. Yep.
Yeah. So that will work. Activating Katsu. Going to filter out something. Not the dishonor is going to be the what's that? The floating dojo.
Floating dojo. He's pitching the floating dojo.
Yep.
Wait, what's he?
He's pitching the floating dojo.
He's paying for Be Like Water ability.
Got you.
To give it the name, which
was surging, which would,
serve
does it see itself on the chain as surging?
Yes,
okay.
I think so.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it sees itself on the chain as surging. It's going to activate its ability, which allows him to go find
Descending Gust Wave, I think.
From graveyard, right, or input on top of your deck.
So Be Like Water gives itself the name Surging.
Got you.
I'm assuming that's the one he picked.
Correct.
And then he Katsu to grab Descending Gust Wave,
okay.
which he can then banish and play this turn.
Nice.
So he could be possibly going for Bonds of Ancestry Dishonor play, which would be
spicy.
Pretty sweet.
Is that backbreaking to Dromai at this point in time?
I mean, what's Dromai's ability say again? When her dragons have go again, or is that her?
The producer Justin, what's Dromai do?
I always confuse her weapon and.
The weapon gives the go again, and she gets the ash, right?
If you've played a red card turn, dragons you control have go again. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And whenever you pitch a card, a red card. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just
be able to create ash. He does have the dust cards, the permanent.
I can create from that. Yep, as well. So it would limit his ash production for sure.
Yeah.
Dramatically.
He attacks the Undereye, takes the preventative damage off, and then kills it. I think that will be a mass trigger.
If the Kodachi doesn't hit, it's not, right? Because it's prevent next damage for Yenderai, right?
Oh, that's right.
So technically there was no hit.
Yeah, okay.
But and then Dishonor would be also hit a hero for sure.
So Bonds of Ancestry coming in for free. He's gonna be able to banish. Looks like he's banishing 100 wins. Okay, so
this is the mass trigger though, because the Way by Water hit, and then this one the one that we're punching him into the ground hit, and then this is the new one that's.
There's got to be 3 in a row though. So the Kodachi.
It has to be 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's not just 3. Okay, gotcha.
Isn't it 3 in a row?
For mask.
Mask of Momentum.
Yeah.
3 in a row.
3 in a row. Okay.
Man, this card game's only getting harder to keep up with.
Well, I haven't played against Katsu in like forever, so you're relearning kind of what his.
Fide probably doesn't care about Maz so much, but we don't need to talk about that guy.
No, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
He got belittled out of here.
He was never good. He was just 2 small dudes in a trench coat. The whole time. So Bonds of Ancestry, really cool. I love to. It seems, watching it played, it seems better than I thought.
Oh,
just because the 2 cost seems hard, but you're able, with so many Gust Wave cards, you're able to get it off for free. And then when this attack thing is just really cool, you have the go again.
Yep.
You can grab whatever, even if it's not like extending the combo or going for dishonor, you're going for something that's pretty impactful no matter what you do.
Yep. Gonna go for the other dragon. It seems Moses is saying, if I clear your dragons, you can't kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is kind of correct, honestly. And then from here, now continuing the pressures, Zach.
Yeah, now he's going to ask the question of, do you think I have a dishonor, and is it relevant right now? Probably not, because unless you can attack react with it.
It depends what Zach has in his hand, because if Zach has dragons, he's going to need ways to give him go again and creating ash. But if Zach has more of the go again cards that create dust, then he wouldn't care if he got dishonored as much. And you could see a situation like last game where dishonor hits and the other player is still able to create a lethal situation. So hitting dishonor early, great. Hitting dishonor later, fun.
Yeah.
But not necessarily going to win you the game.
Hey, but we're here for fun.
Yeah,
so
fun's important.
Go. So yeah, 100 wins. He's thinking about his block here. His choices are getting hard. Let's see, blocking
Do a
with
double block,
Phantasmal
respecting
Haze. Is that what that is? I think so, yeah.
respecting an attack react, I think.
Dishonor just coming in for
A good old 1.
I think it comes in for 2.
He had a 1 counter on it. Why does he have a 1 counter on it?
Yeah, I'm not sure why he had a 1, but it should be 2. It gets +2 if Bonds of Ancestry was the last card, which I'm curious why he didn't.
Is that counting
says,
the line? That works.
He could have dishonored and then snapped and then done 100 wins, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that actually helps him at all.
Yeah, he still has snaps too. Yeah, you're right.
Because right now this is just coming in for 2.
A good sink to cover it up. A little bit overkill, but it does the job for sure. Zach saying, I want to keep the card in my hand. Don't want to sink it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to respect that, especially with 1 ash on the board. Like,
Yep.
You can't really risk not being able to play your dragons, because then they just become bad cards in your hand. You can't even furnace them out. So
great pressure now from Zach. He was able to block out the turn. Moses was able to stabilize, I think, doing the correct thing. Zach able to go through a 4. And Moses at 5 health. Does he go to 1? What point do you give up the mask?
I don't know. I feel like mask is right around now probably is when you give the mask. Depends what he's got in his hand. If he's got an awkward hand, he might just want to block. Looks like he's giving up the tunic instead. Dust Up, just a great card, being one of the other key sources of getting ash. Just having the hit effect. Ask that question of, do you want me to have the ability to put more dragons out, or are you going to respect this and block it up? So Zach's sitting pretty good at 12. He's weathered the storm. The past couple of turns are pretty intense, but
no, definitely.
Kodachi doing his work. It's like, I can throw 18 cards at you, do no damage, but when I swing one little dagger, it's gonna do.
You're gonna feel it. Yeah, but like I said, Zach being so far ahead in health, being able to stabilize here is probably what he's looking for, and he's gonna just pressure it. As long as Moses can't put together a bunch of red cards on the board, I think Zach's looking good.
Yeah, it looks like Moses' deck getting a little thin, coming in with the blue crane dance, not the most impactful card.
No.
We are threatening a mass trigger, so could potentially do something, but
I think that's an ancestral empowerment in hand. So
get
depending on how Zach blocks here, it could go really well or not that well.
Crane dance comes in for 1 or 2. I feel like
I think it would be 2, I imagine, but we can double check.
it's not the most impactful card at blue, but it's there. It has its purposes. It's coming in for 1, yeah.
So he just has to block it with a card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could give it go again. He does have the Ancestral, which would gain him a card anyways, but doesn't seem that impactful. He might need to.
I think Zach for sure blocks here. Blocking with 1 card seems fine, especially when the other person is at 5 health. Having 3 cards, I can pressure 5 with 3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you arsenal that card. Hopefully he can survive.
And he's got an Ash. great.
Yeah. I think Zach's in a really strong position. He has presented himself as a wall, as Chat is saying. And here we go. Aswalai coming in with some unblockable arcane damage.
Chat pointing out that Moises used a lot of his good cards already, and Zach has played it perfectly to the point of patience and just waiting for his opportunity. But it seems like now Zach is able to be the aggressor a little bit, and Moses is going to have to respect the damage he puts out.
I think Moses might have used too many powerful Katsu too many powerful cards early game with not as much impact and has set himself up, which like he's got to go for the jugular. You know, he's trying to win fast because the longer Zach has, the better chance he has of just wrecking his time with some dragons.
Each strike for 7 is so scary at 2 health.
Yeah.
You know, lots of things can happen. Zach doing a great job of pressuring. Get the mask. Yep. That's appropriate. Now getting the mask, having less. Your blocks are less stressful now a little. So you now is threatening a mash trigger, but still has the snaps. Lopez could create a pretty decent chain here, depending on what that card is in his arsenal. I definitely think you clear the dragon if you're Katsu, right?
I think you got to, because he does unblockable damage, you know?
Yeah. You don't have any arcane damage, so you're definitely going to want to clear at some point. But we're going to go in with the Kodachis first, it seems. Keep the pressure up, but...
Yeah, he's got to do some damage, but
yep.
I don't see a way that Moses is getting out of this. It seems pretty rough.
Yeah.
He's got a good dragon that requires a attack, and then he's going to have... he's got tummy tie up in there, so things could just go bad.
Katsu, I think, getting a lot of tools with his new set, being able to create really interesting chains for sure, but still kind of struggling with some of the ninja problems, which is playing out too many cards, getting fatigued, or just seeing your power cards early and then not seeing them later.
Yeah.
Still, definitely some things it looks like that need to be ironed out in Katsu. I would say a little spice. I think he just needs a little spice, and he'll be back at it again.
Yeah.
Oh, the third Ancestral Empowerment.
I think, too, you know, not to downplay Zach's playing here. He's done a remarkable job at blocking, maintaining his health, chipping damage, setting up, you know, finding his moments and not rushing to try to get dragons because he was scared of losing life. He's really done an excellent job with that. So now just coming in with a classic, you know,
Blue 6.
And all right, we're going to pop it. Here we go.
Nice. That's one of the 3 poppers he has.
Put one on Ghostly Touch.
All right. Moses is looking for it. Smells the blood in the water. Had the popper.
Yeah. Excellent timing on that popper.
Yeah.
Really gives Moses a chance. Yeah, it always is. It's either at the perfect time or not.
And not even on a dragon, too, which was the damage card you need to go through.
Yeah, just the classic phantasm.
Classic. All right, Kodachi's coming back full force.
Yep, carrying less because mask is gone, but...
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Here we go. We're just going to start slamming down some combo cards. This is just a recoil, though. Does it have Go Again on it naturally?
Definitely has combo.
It has combo, does not have Go Again.
All right.
So
finding the razor.
He's got the razor. There's our Go Again.
There was a razor that he pitched early. Ooh. Zach always being the wall, having the D-React in Arsenal. I cannot tell you how many times I've tried to attack reaction over this man, and he always has a movable or a sink or something.
Yeah, well played there. That's got to be a little bit disappointing for Moses. I don't know what's in Arsenal.
Oh, yeah. And I think that was Zach's last sink, if I remember correctly. But Moses should be seeing more razors, so hopefully Zach can close out soon, or else he's going to have to call every razor that he thinks is going to start coming. At 7, those razors can be game.
Does he have...
Oh, okay.
Okay, nice. So
now we're looking good here. So we're doing...
threatening the Vincerikai, but he's like, but for now we'll just do 4 with Go Again.
Yeah, you don't want to give him an opportunity to pop again, especially if he has another CNC. I guess he could have checked the arsenal to see, like, oh, how many CNCs, but I think it's going to look for that right about now. Yeah. And then go. You always want to do your attack action first, and then dragon. I think I punish a lot of players, Dromai players who do dragon first.
Yep.
They'll immediately get popped if you have it.
Yeah. No, Zach is very familiar with his deck, so he knows not to put himself in a situation that he can't recover from. So
Oh yeah,
he's going to threaten that damage, push him to 1,
got him to 1.
and then he's just like, okay, cool.
Show me the popper.
6,
2 blocks. Okay.
6 or 9.
All right.
Your choice. And Sarakai just going to hang out here. He's got 2 ash. Yeah, he's feeling pretty good.
Back to your saying about that point in time where you said you would have gone for it. You would have been a little greedy. Here we are, couple turns later, game's still going.
Yeah.
So being greedy, even at that close of margins, especially against the talent in this room,
Yeah.
you're gonna get punished. Always go, I think, for your outs. Play to your outs, safest options. 2 arcane coming at you. Zachary Wallach winning it.
Great
Super
game.
composed.
Great game.
Super
yeah.
composed for sure.
I am curious because, back when I did say that, you can go for it or you can clear the field, I think Moises may have spent too much time clearing all the dragons and maybe could have done it because he sat at like 12 health for like 2 or 3 turns after that.
Correct.
And I think while it did benefit him, Zach was in that position where he was starting to see his cards again, and it just lost kind of control of the game at that point because he had to spend his entire hand attacking his dragons.
Yeah. No, definitely. Managing those dragons is a big thing. It's like whack-a-mole, but you do have to know which ones to hit and why, which ones that you can leave, because you are going to be sacrificing your damage to close the game as well.
Yeah.
So balancing that, learning that Dromai matchup, super important. If you haven't played against Dromai this meta, get a friend who knows Dromai, play against them, get some games in with them. You're going to be seeing them more. It's a very strong deck for sure.
Yeah, I think she's going to be very good, and anyone who's been playing her has a head start on that, and it's not an easy deck to just pick up and run. I think some people definitely have the skill to do it, but we've been talking about the whole game. There's just minuscule bits of value that you can find in every single turn where it's like, I'm going to take a little bit more damage, but over the next 2 or 3 turns, my choices are going to compound into something that's very impactful and really push my game state forward.
Yep.
And I think that is why, one, she's a super interesting hero. I think that's part of like how she's balanced too. It's not just like slamming Phantasm, Herald's down, which, no shade on Prism, but
Definitely a lot of fun.
I think, that was kind of a masterclass in it because it felt for a while that Zach was like a little under the knife there, but he just held on.
Going, yeah.
And he found the way. So
he knew his outs. He played to it. He stayed strong, and that's the type of level of talent we have here in the venue. Always playing great games. Really dedicated people on their classes for sure. Stick around though. We're going to be having more finals games come up soon. I don't know who's playing next, but
you don't know. Rounds wrapping up in a few minutes, but we'll grab something good. It might be another Katsu because there's a lot of them out here today.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like we might have a
Kano. There are 2 Kanos in here today. Get your null runes out.
Praise be.
Go to the bathroom. Make some popcorn. We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll
shortly.
be back for a short game shortly.
Thank you.